Now, The Exorcist is filled with several subliminal images that really add to the horror on a deeper level. Appearing on screen for a split second, these frames embed themselves into our subconscious and unnerve us even though they happen so quickly that we barely even register them. Now, the film basically boils down to Pazuzu possessing Reagan, and throughout it we get several flashes of his face to let us know he's always watching. Some of these images are toned down depending on what version you watch, and there are a few that only appear in the theatrical version. However, I've gone through both films for this to point out when they happen, and hopefully when you revisit the movie, you'll find a new appreciation of it.
God and Lord of all creation, gain for your holy apostles the power to tramp underfoot serpents and scorpions.
Now, early on in the film, we see the statue of Pazuzu, and this later appears in Reagan's bedroom. This is pretty obvious and well lit, so we instantly see it. However, in the theatrical cut, there's a hidden statue in the room that only eagle-eyed viewers will spot. As Chris leaves her daughter Reagan's room, we take a lot of focus on her walking through the house, and you might not notice it, but Pazuzu's actually in this frame. Upon boosting the brightness, you can catch his statue in the corner, and this adds an extra layer of horror to this very mundane moment. Now, there's also a quick flash of the statue's head that we get when she opens the door. I've slowed this right down so you can see it, but it appears on screen for what's basically 3 frames, and it gives the idea that Pazuzu is waiting in this room. His face is throughout the house, so when Chris first enters the kitchen, we can see it flicker in and out for what's roughly a second. It's gone just as quickly as it arrives, but it's so creepy and unnerving. A lot of these were of course made in a time before physical media allowed people to pause and rewind films, and thus many watching it might have wondered if they saw what they thought they saw. Now, this face is something which is constant throughout the film, and it pops in and out of scenes at several points in the movie. During Reagan's examination at roughly the 33-minute mark, we see her eyes open as she lays on the bed. The demon then quickly flashes on screen just before it vanishes, and though this is a very low-key scene, this instantly grabs your attention. Later on, a similar shot appears in Father Karras' dreams, and we can catch the demon as he runs towards his mother. In a blink and you'll miss it moment, Pazuzu appears in between the cuts, letting us know that he has infected the character's mind. We also get a moment just before this where we see Karras' mother in a dark black room, and this is shot in a similar way to how the demon's face appears. Now, a shot of the demon appears like this later on during the exorcism at roughly the 1 hour 45 mark. I'm saying roughly because, depending on what version you watch, there will be different scenes that throw the timing off. Anyway, as Reagan's being exorcised, we see the lights flicker on and off, and during one of these black spots, we get a quick flash of Pazuzu. Now, Pazuzu isn't the only face that flashes on screen, and we actually get Karras' mother appear just before he jumps out the window. When the father takes the demon into himself, he looks up at the curtains, and you can catch the face of his mother fading in and out. Superimposition is used brilliantly in the film as well, and at roughly the 1 hour 2 minute mark, we see Reagan turn her head to the camera during the hypnosis scene. In a blink and you'll miss it moment, we get a few frames where the demon's superimposed over the top of her face just before she attacks. This is repeated later on roughly at the 1 hour 45 mark when she turns and looks directly at the camera. Comes right after the head turn, and if you pause the frame then you'll notice the left side of her face actually has Pazuzu's. There are 2 eyes together in that area, and it really adds to how creepy that this moment is. It's such a nice touch that throws the viewer off slightly, and it also lets us know there's 2 entities trapped inside this one body. That is of course Reagan and the demon, and it's moments like this that really add to the film. The director really stretched the limits of terror within a film as well, and he went beyond shots like this to toy with us on an aural level. Sound is used expertly throughout the film, with Friedkin also adding in unsettling noises so that we can never feel relaxed. Pig squeals are used when Reagan's tossing and turning, and the sound of bees is placed at several points early on in the film.